At Scandinavian Mind, we have a particular love affair with Finland. We operate across the Nordics, but when we started really doing bigger events with Transformation Conference, it was together with a bunch of Finnish organizations, starting with an event in Helsinki 2 years ago, and then here at Stockholm Fashion District 2 years ago. And we still do Transformation Conference once a year in Helsinki during Fashion in Helsinki, which is their kind of Fashion Week event they're hosting. So I'm pleased to say that we do have a Finnish touch to this year's Transformation Conference. I now want to welcome Marja-Liisa Niinikoski, CEO of Finnish Textile and Fashion. Welcome.
This is the most difficult part of your conference.
Look away.
Hi, Stockholm.
Moi moi.
Moi moi.
Marja-Liisa, thank you so much for coming into Stockholm today.
Thanks for the collaboration.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Let's just begin by describing what Finnish Textile and Fashion is, and what's your mission? What are you here to do?
Yeah, we represent Finnish textile and fashion industry, from non-wovens to fiber companies, from workwear to fashion, fabrics, etc., the whole industry kind of way. So we negotiate general labor agreements, and then we lobby for the industry, as well as then offer services for our companies. And what we want. So we want that the Finnish industry can grow in a sustainable way and also succeed in the global market.
I mean, you have been very, very into this whole DPP, digitalization issue. Why is this so important for Finnish Textile and Fashion?
So, well, I started 3.5 years ago in the association. I don't have background in textile and fashion at all. Last 6 and before that, prior to that, I worked for attracting foreign direct investments, mainly in high tech, so from medtech to medicine to pharmaceutical, IT, quantum, etc. And this whole world has been new to me. And since 60% of our member companies work in consumer business, I've always been P2P. So looking at the consumer market nowadays, understanding the consumer business, this has been really a learning curve. And since coming from more like from tech industry side to this industry, and when I heard about this new Eco-Design Act, we have heard about this already here today, and the DPP, and understanding all the strengths we in the Nordics have in digitalization. So we know Sweden, Finland, etc. We are really strong in that. So how we could combine these and offer something new to the whole world? I mean, all the competencies you have here in this country, and some of them the strengths we have, and also combining like the new fibers. We heard about the story about syre, or however you pronounce it.
I think say syre. Yeah.
And then we have like 7, 8 new sustainable fiber innovations in Finland. So I was thinking of that, if we really can trace the value chain, combine these sustainable materials with digitalization and the enabling kind of software which can help us to understand the whole value chain. But as we have already heard, this is not easy. So I discussed with the Association of Technology Industries in Finland, and I told them that should we look at this together, because it could be business for everyone, from software companies, for tech companies, and then like building the competitive edge also for the fashion companies. It's not easy, we have heard, but you need to start. And then we started with the first paper that's also published in English, that what is the concept of the DPP. And now we have also helped our member companies to build their competencies. So it's the company level and the competencies and capabilities. So we did 10 pilots looking at the IT system and how you can integrate and how the data flow can go within the company. But it's not only the company level. Then it's a systemic approach. So we have heard about that how the information can go throughout the whole value chain. It is not easy. We can discuss that a lot. And now we are trying to enter to the phase that we look at the textile data ecosystem, how it should like. We heard about the GS1 Sweden. We discussed also with GS1 Finland about the standards and everything. So how to enable that data flow? It's not easy. It's also related to the practices of the industry of trade secrets, And then when we go to the part of the circularity, it's even more difficult because if we want to really track the data of one garment, piece of garment, that is not easy at all. But anyhow, now we discuss also the textile data ecosystem aspect.
But I love the way you work and the way you kind of take the textile industry and you connect them with the tech industry, and you saw that connection. Can you talk about some learnings? Like what happens when you bring those together?
So basically, I think that first of all, we can discuss that from various perspectives, because it's not only about the traceability, but it's all, the retail and online and etc., etc., etc. We have heard here as well. But if we now also, and gaming industry, how to integrate gaming and fashion and everything, that's also interesting. But when we only speak about the traceability and that part of it, and the tech companies and then the fashion companies, maybe the tech companies, hey, I have here the application. But we heard already in the previous discussion that how complex the textile value chain is. It's really complex. I think that it has been even proved that that is the most complex value chain of any industries in the world.
That's fascinating to me.
It is. If you think of the raw material and how it goes, and even if you buy your cotton from the cotton purse or wherever, how do you know what is the field it comes from?
Right. You have been an advocate for kind of more collaboration in the Nordics, and I want to get into that. But maybe before we talk about that, why is there this kind of similarities between Sweden and Finland, do you think, when it comes to this issue? Because I see we have material innovation companies coming from Finland and from Sweden. We have data companies coming from Finland and from Sweden. We have a kind of similar background. Maybe it's because of the forest, maybe it's because of Ericsson and Nokia, I don't know. But talk about how you see the similarities.
I think you already mentioned all the similarities. But what is the biggest difference, I would say? You have more globally successful companies in fashion.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. And I think that we could learn from you a lot in that respect. How to scale fashion. And if you think nowadays, everybody have all the brands and the stores in your hand. So how you really brand how you really build the brand of your fashion company in the device which you have in your hand.
Right.
And I think that there's a lot we can learn from you guys. But on the other hand, with all this collaboration, how then to make the Nordic premium to the global fashion industry, where sustainability issue is one of the challenges, digitalization and the consumer behavior. And still, if we look at how consumer, what is the main decision factor that the mass of people buy their clothes, it's according to the price. And if you think the price of the new materials, it's not cheap. I think we have lots to do together.
You talked about fashion brands. We have perhaps a bit more fashion brands here in Sweden than out of Finland.
I do appreciate it.
And you've also talked about the need for more investments into the actual fashion brands. We at this conference, we talk a lot about the new innovations and the new companies, and they're getting all the attention from VCs and so forth. But you're actually an advocate for getting more resources into the fashion brands. Why is that?
Well, first what I like to mention to you guys here is that the Finnish private investors, was it last week or this month, however, they they voted for the best CEO in Finland, and actually this year, for the first time, they voted that the CEO of Marimekko, Tiina Alahuhta-Kasko. I'm so proud of that. We can give congrats to Tiina.
Yes.
Amongst all the, the male potential candidates. Anyhow, but on the other hand, we have lots of VCs also in Finland, early stage VCs who concentrate on tech, material, tech solutions, etc., etc. But in the end of the day, you don't put any fiber on your body. It's an end product. You don't use the software to scan your what you wear, but in the end of the day, you have clothes on your garment.
Clothes,
yeah. So I think that we really should, and the VCs should also look at the new fashion brands, which really put emphasis on sustainability, not only in terms of the product, but how they integrate the all circular economy type of services to the product. And now I'm also really curious and interested in that how you integrate repair type of services and how you scale those services when you scale your brand. And it might not be easy, but I think that it can be solved.
I was happy to work with a project with you this spring about the kind of the need for investment in the fashion ecosystem, and you always told me that you Sweden are doing so good, and I'm thinking I don't think a lot of young upstart fashion brands are getting that much investment here either. But talk about from doing that project. How do we change the minds of investors in order to go more into this, do you think?
I think that is really kind of what is the image of the whole industry. And as one of our member companies said, that it's also the issue that if you bring garbage to the market and you try to sell it in the second hand, it's still if the quality of the garment does not keep it shape and the structure until the first time you are gonna wash it. So now there is lots of regulation coming concerning the producers and the brand owners and that part of it. But I think that it's really challenging for the VCs as well to really see that there is space and room for new products. I think that many struggle with that issue. But I think that we need at the same time to understand that high quality, the investors should look at the sustainable criteria for their investments. And at the same time, I think that we should push the legislator also to regulate the consumption. Can I give you an example?
Sure.
The Finnish government the previous government took the tax of the new electric cars or electric-enabled cars. And what was the effect in the market? It really increased the sale of electric cars. So if the legislator is also interested in the way we consume and structure the way, then I see that there is also potential more for a type of end product investment in fashion industry, meaning the fashion brands. I think we need the both.
Very interesting perspective. I want to go back to this potential for more collaboration in the Nordics. What are some of the next steps that needs to happen, do you think? What are some of the things that need to happen for us to work together more on perhaps the digitalization project?
I think that one of the things is the standardization. We already heard about that, and I think that you are much also working in that respect. We heard the Sirpas 2 project. We are working there with one pilot as well. So building the data ecosystem and understanding all the capabilities also in commercial wise that people are aware of the applications available. So I think that there is one aspect, and what I really want to do and work with you guys, if there's anyone who wants to collaborate that how to commercialize a fashion brand, I think that that kind of knowledge is hugely needed in our brands. And what else? I mean, then how to scale the repair and all the circular type of services in this industry, how to make it happen. I think there could be like common initiatives as well.
You traveled from Helsinki to be part of this event and collaborated with us. Do you have an ask of the audience? Why is it important for you to be here in Stockholm today?
I think I get really good new contacts here. Thanks everybody who has already networked with me. But as said, there is lots of ideas and initiatives in our country, and I also have them. That if you are interested, please be in contact with me. And I really want to look at the real cases, that it's not only about talk, but it's action. Because in the end of the day, action matters, not only to talk.
Marja-Liisa, Niinikoski, thank you so much for sharing your insights today.
Thank you. Thanks, Konrad.